Hi guys, my name is Jidin and in today's video we are going to discuss about DHCP. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. In DHCP, it's basically a server client concept and it falls under the TCP IP protocol suite. The server automatically assigns IP to the endpoints or the host. Not only just IP, it also assigns a subnet mask as well. So the DHCP basically simplifies the IP management on the networks. So this is a basic about DHCP. Let's discuss more in detail. Architecture of DHCP. Before we actually move on with the architecture, let's discuss a real world example. A manager wants to send a parcel to one of his employee, Bob. The manager hires a delivery boy and requests him to collect parcel from him and deliver it to Bob. Now the delivery boy takes the order and collects a parcel from the manager and deliver it to Bob. Now one thing to note here, whatever item is there in the parcel, it has got an expiry date and Bob can only use the item till it expires. Now the architecture of DHCP is also pretty much similar to this example. Now let's come back to the real architecture of DHCP. In this case, the DHCP server is a manager and on the other end, the DHCP client is Bob. The function of DHCP server is to automatically assign the IP address to the DHCP clients. Now there comes our third guy, that's our delivery boy. In this case, it's a DHCP relay. The DHCP relay, it may be a router or any other intermediate device. The function of DHCP relay is to collect the DHCP messages from the server and forward it to the DHCP clients and vice versa. Now remember, in the example which I said, the items in the parcel has got an expiry date. Similarly, the IP assigned by a DHCP server also expires after a limited period of time. And this is known as lease. Lease is the maximum time a DHCP client can hold an IP address. So these are the four things which comes under the architecture of DHCP. Now hope you understood the architecture of DHCP. Sorry, I missed out one thing here. Another reason why we use DHCP relay is that it helps to centralize the DHCP server. If DHCP relay is not there, then we have to use a dedicated DHCP server for each network. Now let's discuss my favorite part in DHCP, that is the DORA process. DORA is basically a 4 different messages exchanged between the DHCP client and the DHCP server. This happens right before the DHCP server assigns an IP address to the DHCP client. Now, before we actually move on with the DORA process, let's discuss a real-world example. In this example, Bob went to attend a job interview. Now, the interviewer gave him an application to fill up. But unfortunately, Bob forgot to take his pen. Now what Bob did was, he just shouted across the floor asking for a pen. Alice on the other end hears Bob shouting and offers him a pen. Bob was really happy after getting positive response from Alice. Bob again requests for the pen. Now Alice gives him the permission to use her pen. Now the DORA process is also pretty much similar to this example. Let's take a look into that. Now let's come back to the actual DORA process. In this, the DHCP client is Bob and on the other end the DHCP server is Alice. The client won't be having an IP address at the moment it is plugged into a network. Now the client sends a message to all the devices connected across the network to provide an IP address, and this is the discover message. The DHCP server will also get a copy of this discover message. the DHCP server will respond back to the DHCP client offering an IP address. And this is the offer message. Now the client will receive the response from the server and will request back to use that IP address. Finally, the DHCP server will respond back with an acknowledge for the request. At the end of these 4 messages, the client will be getting an IP address and becomes part of the network. This is the DORA process: discover, offer, request, and acknowledge. Now let's see what exact information is exchanged in these 4 messages. Before that, you should know 2 things. One is the layer 2 broadcast and the other one is the layer 3 broadcast. When exchanging these 4 messages, the client and the server will not be using exact IP or the MAC address. Instead, they will be using the broadcast IP and the broadcast MAC address to convey the information. Now, let's take a look into that. The first one is the discover message sent by the DHCP client. The different fields in a discover message are source IP, destination IP, source MAC, and the destination MAC. The source IP is 0.0.0.0. This is because the client doesn't have an IP address. In the destination IP, it is 255.255.255, which is the broadcast IP. Source MAC is a MAC address of the DHCP client itself. And the destination MAC is FFFF, which is the broadcast MAC address. In this, the client is actually sending the message across the network as it doesn't know the IP and the MAC address of the DHCP server. In this case, it is a layer 2 and a layer 3 broadcast. The IP address is known as the address of a system and the MAC address is the name of a system. By using the broadcast IP address and the MAC address, the client will be able to send this message to all the devices across the network. The second one is the offer message. Once the DHCP server gets the discover message from the client, it responds back with the offer message. In offer message, the source IP address is the same as the server IP address itself. The destination is again the broadcast IP address, as the client doesn't have an IP address at the moment. Source MAC is the MAC address of the DHCP server itself. Destination MAC will be the MAC address of the client. If you are wondering how the DHCP server got to know that MAC address of the client, then it is simple. It got the information from the discover message. The server also offers an IP address and the lease length, which is the maximum time the client can hold the IP address. In this case, it is 72 hours. And here it is a layer 2 unicast and layer 3 it is broadcast that is happening. Layer 2 unicast because the DHCP server knows the MAC address of the client. Now the client receives the offer from the DHCP server. It then sends out an ARP request to check if the offered IP address is used by any other devices in the network. If it is not used, then the client sends out a request to the server to use the offered IP address. In this, the source IP is 0.0.0.0 as the client doesn't have an IP address. But if you see, the destination IP and the MAC address is using the same broadcast IP and the MAC address. This is because if there are multiple DHCP servers in the network, then all servers should get the request. In this case also, it is the layer 2 and the layer 3 broadcast that is happening here. Now the last one is the acknowledgement. Finally, the DHCP server will give the permission to client to use the offered IP address along with the lease length. For example, the lease length here is 72 hours. This means that the client can use the IP address for 72 hours. In this case also, it is layer 2 unicast and layer 3 broadcast that is happening. That's pretty much from this video. Hope you guys understood the concept of DHCP and DORA process. Before we wrap it up, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to get the latest video updates. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye.